Welcome to the Multifamily Zone, where business meets family. We explore what the entrepreneur life looks like from the family perspective. Now here are your hosts, Julia and Gino Barbaro.
Hey everyone, this is Julia Barbaro, host of the Multifamily Zone podcast. I am here with the co-founder of Jake Gino, my husband and co-host Gino Barbaro.
Julia, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Happy Thanksgiving, and this is a special Thanksgiving show. Full disclaimer, we are down in Harlem today cooking for the fryer, so you're going to hear a lot of background noise, and I want everyone to be cognizant of the fact that Thanksgiving is a wonderful holiday. It should be spent with family, and we're down here with part of our family, part of our extended family, and more importantly, you're going to be hearing bells go off. The fryer do some great work. We're going to talk about what they do, but I want everyone to just stop when they hear that bell. That bell means that somebody's coming to the door seeking shelter, they're seeking food, they're seeking company. So everyone out there, think about it. You know, I know we all are fighting about politics, and it's Thanksgiving. Let's come together. Be grateful for what we have. I know Uncle Larry is probably driving you nuts, and Aunt May is driving you nuts, but just remember, at least you have an Uncle Larry. At least you have an Aunt May. There's going to be a lot of people here, over 150 people here gathered, that don't have that luxury or that opportunity to spend time with their family. They're hungry, they're alone, they're sad, and this day we're here to bring some joy to them. So without further ado, Father Angelos, how are you?
I'm so happy to be here. And I met you guys 10 years ago when you came, Gino, and you taught us how to cook as young friars. And I think you guys took a little break the last few years, but you came back last year because someone moved away from us. But we're always so grateful to have you guys on Thanksgiving. It wouldn't be Thanksgiving without the Barbaros here with us. So we're really grateful.
You know, we met this community, I think it was about 15 years ago. That was before
I joined.
Father Angelos joined the community. And, I don't think that they realized the impact they had on the Barbaro family and the formation of the children and Gino and I. And we're just eternally grateful for you.
We were talking this morning. The Barbaros were the only family that we could call the day of and say, hey, could we come for dinner? Julia would pick up stuff at the restaurant or cook us something magical that we just kind of picked up.
Yes.
And Gina would come home from work and be like, two friars are
exactly. Here. They would call the day of, hey, can we come visit? We're coming to dinner. I'm like, okay, sure, when? Tonight. We're coming tonight. 12 guys, 12 hungry men.
How hard could it be?
Yes.
And it was always a wonderful meal, and obviously it's great to be together.
Yes.
So just it's great reminiscing about. And Thanksgiving is the time to do that, right?
Absolutely.
How blessed all of us are. So.
And there's one thing I'd like to say. I've taught Father Angelos everything he knows about cooking. That's it. Other than that, I'm going to bring this into real estate, into business somehow. My wife is probably going to get mad at me, but there's so many similarities and parallels to religious life, to living a life of vocation, and into business, into family life. So I want to ask Father Angelos the first tough question: how did you choose your vocation?
So let me tell you about tough questions. I wanted to be the White House press secretary. This is what I wanted to do. I want to get grilled by people. I studied communications in college and politics, and I wanted to do that, and then the Lord called me. So here's the thing. We also come from a very blessed family. We were raised in Nebraska. I was spoiled my entire life. I just experienced God's goodness. Probably at the time I knew it was from God, but I didn't understand how wonderful my parents are and how wonderful my siblings are. I'm a triplet, obviously, with Father Innocent. We're both members of the community. Our sister's back in Nebraska, and we have an older brother as well. But we played sports. We got straight A's. We just had good friends and good community. We just kind of did and received everything that we kind of always wanted. And it wasn't until college where I really kind of took a step back and said, what am I going to do with all that I've been given? Right? And I was able to recognize that, probably ready to get married at the time, but able to recognize that maybe a deeper call in my heart and my life to get my life to the Lord. And that kind of set off a few decisions in the next few years to go to seminary for years, and then come to the CFRs. But that was the heart of it. I've been blessed with so much. Now how am I going to, in the little business term, how am I going to invest that? How am I going to offer that to God? And so it was good for me as a young man to struggle with that, and then to make a decision.
Yeah. To make that decision, though, was probably, tell me about that moment where you actually stepped out of the comfort almost, right? The comfort into where you are now as far as just serving.
Yeah, there was and I call it that. You use the word comfort. I was actually probably being self-centered and selfish in my life. And again, I went to Mass every day, going to adoration on campus every day in college. And so I was doing all the Christian stuff, doing all the Catholic stuff. But it it was my living more of my life about me. Mm-hmm. You know, which is kind of funny. It's like, oh, you guys have always been kids and you've always been doing this, but it was still, it was on my time frame. It was in my comfort zone. And I had a friend who called me out. And he said, you know, I think you're unhappy right now. I was this restless in my life going into my senior year. He said, I think you're unhappy because you've been selfish and you've been doing your own thing. And it hit me. Mm-hmm. And I remember that time. And again, that was probably the moment that I can point to where my life kind of shifted, and I was recognizing all that the Lord had done for me and all the many ways I've been blessed and how I was really using that to serve myself instead of others. And so it rocked me for sure. And I still have that friend to this day. And I tell him that's a part of my witness. And I don't use his name, but I was like, you totally called me out, bro. You changed my life.
That's awesome.
What was your family's response when you told them, hey, I want to become a friar, I want to go into religious life?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. My parents taught us, certainly gave us the foundation of faith, and certainly taught us the natural virtue. And you guys have done wonderful. Like, your kids are good, they're respectful, they work hard, they ask for forgiveness. One of the key things my dad always taught us growing up was, I want you to be coachable. We were a big sports family. I want the coach to say, hey, you're good to have on my team because you're open and you're a team player and you'll do what I asked you to do. You work hard. And so it wasn't always like, I want you to be the best. I want you to be that guy on the team who allow it. You know, you're able to be a team player. And that's in religious life. We talked about this too, Gino. We want team players.
Yes.
We want guys who are humble, who are open, who want to be a part of things rather than kind of like this singularity. And don't we find that culture a lot? Yeah. Everybody wants to do their own thing. Mm-hmm. Everybody, it's self-centeredness. It's all about me. It's about what I want. But we're part of the team. And my parents taught us that. And so, if I'm honest, and like we have said this publicly before, so it's not the first time, my parents struggled a little bit because, as you guys are parents have dreams for their children, and they envision their children's lives going a particular way. And as we went to Mass growing up and said our prayers before bed and before meals, my parents never really put it together that the priesthood or religious life were a legitimate option for their brother and I. And so when we started to move in that direction, they were along for the ride. Mm-hmm. They were certainly along for the ride. And 12 years later, they have been so supportive. And the Lord, what the thing was, when the Lord works in my life, the Lord now then works in theirs. Mm-hmm. And to see that happening, it's been wonderful. And they have continued to be selfless and spoil us, and offer everything to us as we've gone on as well. So when it was initially hard, and you guys will know this too, parents miss their children.
Yes.
And so we're halfway across the country. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes I just had to realize that my mom misses us. Mm-hmm. And we can't say, Mom, get over that. Because moms don't get over that.
No. Thank you.
Moms miss their children.
Yes.
So I think that's the hardest part. Yeah. But since we're both priests now and we travel quite a bit, and we allow them to, or we have much more an opportunity for them to be part of our lives.
So here comes the business aspect of it.
Talk to me.
When people tell their friends and their family members that they're going to go into multifamily real estate, the first response is, that's too risky, and you must be crazy. So it's the same thing that I think you had, your struggles with your family. They're thinking, well, really, is that the right choice for you? And I think it's really the parallels. And you had a big enough why. You knew what your why was, and this is how you're going to create your why, is through your how, by getting into religious life. So it's the same thing with when you're getting into multifamily real estate. Why are you getting into it? There's got to be a real reason why. For me, it was the financial freedom and the ability to create wealth so I could share it. I could go and do what I wanted to do, and that led to my how with multifamily. And the other part was really ironic. Jake and I always talk about people, systems, and culture. And Father Angelo just mentioned that in there. So the business aspect of it to me is eerily similar, because you want to be surrounded by amazing people. It's all about the people in the religious life and in your business. The systems that you need to implement to create an amazing business, they have the systems here. You should see everyone jumping around downstairs.
Making things happen. You don't even have to tell them what to do. It's just like happens. We say the prayer, we assign responsibilities, and all of a sudden it happens. But like, whoa.
Well, it's interesting. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, the last one is the culture piece. The culture piece is important because they have a great culture. I want to ask, that's my next question. What is the Friars' mission? Our mission at Jake and Gino is to create communities that allow people to become the best version of themselves. And we have core values, and our core values are people first, unwavering ethics, make it happen, growth mindset. Those are our core values. I want to know what Father Angelos, what the Friars' mission is, and what core values you guys strive for.
You know, it's amazing how much it fits in with you all, because our goal as Friars is not only to be disciples of the Lord, but to do that in recognizing how we all need renewal in our life. it's amazing when people are unchurched or they don't necessarily know about our community. They could think that we're first out to change others and we're out to change the world. We're actually very aware of the fact that the problem isn't initially me. I'm not humble enough. Mm-hmm. I'm not kind enough. I'm not generous enough. And so when I can say my relationship with the Lord, first of all, by the power of who he is in my life, needs to change me. And what does that do? That changes the culture. That changes the friary. When all of us think that I need the one to be more kind and more generous and more humble and more aware and attentive of my brothers, and we're all thinking in that changes where we live. And what does that do? That affects the neighbors we serve. Yeah. That affects the people who ring the doorbells, the people who come in. Because they come in, they don't see people who are selfish. Well, again, we're not perfect. Mm-hmm. You guys know that. But they don't come into a culture where everybody's seeking themselves, where everybody's about themselves, and everybody's out for themselves, not thinking about anybody else. What do? Ideally, my experience, they come into a place where people are at peace, and people are free, and people are all about the other. And so what does that do? That sets us all free to experience this renewal together. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, it's different here. We have 12 guys visiting our community this weekend to discern our way of life. They haven't even been here a day. And someone says, it's different here. The culture is different. And I think it's all because my initial experience with the Lord, I want to change me. So it makes me a better person, the best version of myself. And what does that do? It changes the house, it changes the brothers, and it changes those we serve. And all of a sudden, things are happening, and the neighbors go home back to their own apartments, and they're a little better. And hopefully then they change the place they live, and it kind of happens that way.
Yeah, that's so interesting because we usually talk just business and home life.
Oh, sure.
Now we're going to the religious life, and it's all so similar.
Yeah.
It's all about how we're acting with I can talk about my children. They also humility. You want to talk about humble?
I've got to tell the story.
He keeps telling me. He keeps pointing to the word humble.
He likes that word
because I am a really humble person. Right?
I am really good and not humble.
So first year I come down here, I'm cooking with Father Angelos, who's a brother. We pull a turkey out of the oven, and I have to tell you honestly, it was the most beautiful turkey I've ever seen. It really was. They had the glaze on it, it had the paprika on it, the oil. It was just, it smelled. The picture's actually in the cookbook. The picture does not do it justice. So Father Angelos looks at me and goes, bro, we did an amazing, unbelievable job. Then he stops and he says to himself, really, we couldn't have done it without God, without the Lord. And me at the time was like, yeah, I can do everything myself. But no, you can't do everything yourself. You need the help of God. You need the help. And it was just a humbling experience for me to really think about, it's not just me. We make it happen, but we need help making it happen. And I'm still thinking about that turkey.
That was an eye-opener for my husband.
My mouth is watering, because I thought at the time, if I want something, I've got to go out there and I've got to make it happen. And you know what? You do to a certain degree. But, the Lord puts things in your life, like, the Lord put this community in my life 15 years ago, and I think it sort of saved me, because it was always about me, like Father Angelos. And we can fall into the trap, because my vocation is being a father, and my first and last thought when I go to bed is, are my children fed? Are my children safe? Are my children happy? Absolutely. And I got to throw my wife in there too, but I know she's always happy. She's rocking all the time. But that's about me, right? But then sometimes you forget that there's others that are helping out there. So that was my point.
No, it's true.
The gift of following the Lord is the gift of the Lord is very much for our gifts, our personalities, all that He's given us. And so kind of to have this drive and to have this energy to be like, I want to make it happen, is totally a good thing. Mm-hmm. And when we can, this is just to articulate it in a more interesting way, we participate in what God's doing with everything that is us. Mm. And so your passion, your energy, everything that we're about and everything that we can do, the Lord wants to use. And so we don't have to be like, well, I guess I just need to be less passionate or less using my gifts. Or I don't want to do. No, the Lord wants to set those free. Yeah. And so it sounds like, but we all have that point in our life where we're like, okay, I need to let the Lord into this stuff a little more and more participate in what He's doing. And then what happens when you're set free? You kind of, that's why we all often use the image of fire. Yeah. The fire is set, and all of a sudden the passion and everything affects so many people. Mm-hmm. So awesome.
It's incredible.
How do you define charity?
Oh man, so in a pious way, it's the gift of self. And in thinking about it, though, we've experienced as people who follow the Lord, someone who actually encompasses the fullness of love. And so we try to, it's not us, the neighbors we serve are not our project. Mm-hmm. They're not someone I'm going to fix or I'm going to change. Oftentimes people suffer a lot, so we don't really know what to do in their life. But charity is this gift to be with someone in that struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, we do that in the name of Jesus. And so we're with people in their struggle. We stand with them. We don't judge them. We don't stand apart from them, tell them what to do, tell them how they need to act. We stand with them. And the gift of solidarity with someone is the gift of this love, right? That because oftentimes it's an us and them society. It's a right and left. It's all sorts. There's so much division. And when we can stand with people and say, you know what, I might not have the answer, but I'm with you, and you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And we can help you through that, and we can walk somewhere together, not having all the answers and not having everything going to be perfect, but you can accept someone in that and be in solidarity. They also, there's a beautiful word. Someone I was just reading recently uses the word kinship. Kinship is this beautiful ability to be in relationship with people and to love them where they're at and to be able to encourage them and walk with them. And so, people might be surprised about that.
Yeah.
We're not out to fix people. We
Right.
can't solve poverty.
Right.
We can't provide for everybody's needs, but we can be with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we can be a refuge for people as they come here today, like you said, Gino, when we hear the bell.
When we hear the bell. So for me, I want to challenge all the listeners out there. Think of how you can become charitable. And it's not just about putting money in a basket.
Yeah.
It's about affecting people's lives. And I wrote a cookbook for the Friars. And monetarily, it didn't cost me a lot of money. It cost me thousands of hours. It cost my wife thousands of hours.
I remember that.
But that's great charity. What gifts do you have? What can you share with? It's not just stroking a check.
Yeah.
That helps a lot because one of my priests in Manpack would say, no margin, no mission. So you need money
For sure.
for the mission, right? But at the same time, it's not just about that. It's about donating your time, donating your treasure,
Right.
donating your gifts to help others. And I love that. I love that you don't want out there to change people. That's great.
Yeah, no, I hold on. I know that a lot of people I talk to do say, when my husband or when we become financially free, then we're going to start doing some charity work or we're going to giving to charity. And the question is, well, what can you do right now? Just like Gino said, we could do so much, even if it's just something so simple, like Father Angelos was saying, is to be with the person. That in itself is charity, like he said. So that's something to think about.
It's often, too, charity costs us something. It costs the Lord his life, and it costs us who want to give to others and want to think about others. It costs us something. I have to give. I have to sacrifice. And so often we don't think about that. And we live kind of from this place that we don't want to hurt. We don't want to make our giving and make our offering to others hurt. And that's a cultural reality. That's not a Christian reality or not a reality that thinks about the other. I'm willing to, no matter what it costs me, I'm willing to do something. I'm willing to give. I'm willing to be a part of something because of what it does.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors.
Gino, I know a lot of our listeners are wanting to take their multifamily investing business to the next level. I know that you've been hard at work helping Jake and Gino students do just that using our framework. Can you explain to the listeners how they can get our help?
Guys, we've been hard at work growing our community of like-minded investors, and the results of our members has been nothing short of incredible. We're looking to grow this amazing group. What we're looking for is those who want to follow our proprietary framework that we've created. Buy right, manage right, and finance right. Leverage our connections, education, and mentorship as ways to take your business to the next level.
So if you're interested in finding out more about how you can become a part of our amazing community, apply to work with us at jakeandgino.com/apply.
Now, Father Angelos, I want you to share a couple stories of how you've contributed to the mission or people that you've served. Because I'm here in the morning, bell rings, somebody comes to the door.
For sure.
They're looking for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They're looking for somebody to talk to. They're looking for a cup of coffee. Give us the one or two stories that have really impacted your life where you're like, wow, I really met this person where they were and I really helped them. And I don't want to say change their lives, but really affected their lives.
Yeah, we often struggle with the balance of people in need and what we can give them. And it's really beautiful to we just recently started this year. We see people at the little cafe we run here and the soup kitchen we run here. But now we start to invite people to dinner on Tuesday nights. And so we invite one or two people to our own table to eat with us outside of kind of like the ministry setting. And Gino and Julia, that's so wonderful. We just had a lady in, her Dolores is her name. We just had her in the other night. And it was just to see her in a different setting, to see her relax. It was a simple meal. I think someone made chili, and she thought it was like she said right after prayer, "This is like the Last Supper," And so she was just so blessed by that, and we were so blessed to have her. And we've started to do that, and so again, one or two people every week. What that does in a relationship is that, again, it allows people to feel accepted. It allows people to recognize that it's not about us providing for them, but it's about we live with our neighbors. We're with them, and so that's really wonderful. And just recently I was at a youth conference with 20,000 high school students. Oh my gosh. It was so wild, but again, our habit, our public witness allows us to be in a place where people can come and talk to us and come and speak to us. And it was just beautiful. I was talking to this young guy, kind of trying to figure out what he's doing with his life, kind of what he wants to be a part of, how he wants to give his life. And, we all are broken, we all are hurt, we all kind of sometimes feel a little bit like on the edge. And kind of sometimes they never feel, we even use the term, especially young people, there's a lot of spiritual homelessness. If we have a place to stay, even spiritually, we might not be loved by our parents, we might not have a place, right? And so this guy was struggling with that a little bit. It was beautiful. I spoke a word of truth when I was starting to pray over him, just said a prayer with him, just to encourage him a little bit. And it started to weep, and it was beautiful. It was healing for him, but we were in front of thousands of people, just kind of off to the side. And it was beautiful because at the end of the prayer, he said, "Brother or Father, could you just tell me again and remind me again that the Father loves me and I have a place in you?" And that was just such a beautiful, because I think isn't that what everybody wants to hear? They want a community to be a part of, and they need to be reminded of the truth. And so I said, I will remind you over and over and over. I don't tire of telling people, hey, I can't solve your problems, but I will tell you the truth, that God loves you and that you are welcome. And it's beautiful to kind of see people set free.
How do you stay focused on serving others? Because I know you're a real humble guy.
Oh,
I know the obedience must be really difficult. That must be probably the most difficult thing, to give up your cell phone, because most people probably don't know that you live a life of poverty, right? You have no possessions, you don't have a cell phone, we don't even have internet service here. So, I mean, how do you stay focused on it? Because that must be tough, because you do get lonely, right? Yeah. You are in community life. Some of the brothers might drive you nuts, like having a big family. We've got 6 kids. Yeah. They're always fighting. There's always issues going on. So how do you stay focused?
It's a good... there is certainly a battle to kind of live in a way, undistracted way. The world, technology, movies, radios, music, there's constant noise, and especially in our neighborhood, there's fire alarms and loud car alarms and
music,
people on the street, and people talking on the street think that they're in one conversation and the whole block can hear it, And so I'm distracted, and that distraction leads me away from my core. It leads me away from the place that I find rest when it comes to my relationship with God and with others. And so I just have to be very mindful of, I'm always consuming something. And whether it's my own experience with God in prayer and my life together, or whether when I go out and I'm like, okay, I'm going to check the internet today. Well, I can get distracted. But can we use technology for good? Absolutely. Connect with people, do some of those things, minister. I'm always told that we have a great Instagram page. People love the Friars Instagram page, which is great. Yeah. But a couple brothers do that, and that's a good thing. But I think, Gino, it's keeping the balance. I can easily be distracted by the world. I need to use some of that stuff in the world to be for good and to for the mission. It always can be used. But I just have to protect myself. And so wherever our home is, and the Friary is our home, we just have to make sure that the first things are first. Again, our prayer life with God, our life with our brothers, and then our mission to the poor. If that stuff's in place, then I can be attentive to other things. But if those things kind of get off and I'm start to be distracted, my prayer is not good, or maybe I'm making excuses. Maybe I'm saying, okay, I like this distraction right now because maybe it's hard, life is hard, or mission is hard. It's constantly coming back around. And we have great people in our lives that we have great opportunities at the sacrament to take part in, kind of a real repentance. I need to change. I need to be better at that. And so I'm just constantly aware of that.
Yeah.
My people in my life.
Yeah, and it changes, right? As you kind of get older, it changes, and that's okay.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we're not afraid of that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, I don't know if I should announce this publicly. I don't know if I've told you guys this or not. No, we as a community are looking and very likely going to open up a friary in California this summer. And I am most likely going to be on that team.
Wow.
Boy, do they need the help out there.
I know.
You should have gone there 10 years
As far as the missionary life goes, I've been in New York for 10 years. Yeah. And you guys have already moved, so like why?
We moved. So
I'm looking forward to.
Supposed to be moving.
I know. I'm supposed to be exactly. But I'm looking forward to. We're beginning a mission, and we're beginning from scratch.
How many friars are
there? Probably four total.
Well, I mean, in the whole.
About 140. 140 friars. We have about 15 friaries around the world, and this will be a new one in Oakland.
Okay.
And but in a fun way, maybe we can talk about it in the future. But it's starting from scratch. Yeah. We have to go there. The building's being renovated. We have to find benefactors. We have to find, So what are we going to do? People say, hey, what's your mission? I don't know. I haven't been there. Like I'm going next month. But the thing is that we're kind of leading into, okay, what's God doing in this neighborhood? What is the need? And then So we're building it completely from scratch, and that's exciting to be part of it.
Yeah.
There's something very missionary-like about that. So.
Wow, that's awesome. As my friend Cole Hatter likes to say, make your money matter, right? We're all stewards of our own money. Make it matter. It's funny, I'm going out there right now, I'm trying to buy a new car, and do I really need it? I mean, I don't know if I really need it. It's not going to make you happy, right? If you're trying to supplement material possessions with happiness, it's not one thing, but if you're out there and you want to be a benefactor, we have a link down below for the Franciscan Friars. If you want to donate to them, they've got a great cause.
We're really grateful, Gino.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, no, my pleasure. I mean, like I said, they've changed our lives completely. They've been a great witness to us. We've been a great witness to them.
We sure have.
Family life.
We sure have.
I think one hand washes the other, and I think we were meant to meet each other, right?
Absolutely. No, it's just, like I said before, we're just so grateful. As the Barbaro family, I know the brothers, they tell us often that they are grateful as well, but just the whole being together and just seeing the family life and the religious life come together, all the similarities about just, raising the kids, but also in the household, but also the friary. It's such a similar situation.
Absolutely.
And you never, I think, from an outsider, you wouldn't know that until you really got to know a whole group of friars. It's like, wow.
So I want to thank Father Angelos, but before we leave, couple of parting shots. First thing, Black Friday. We have a Black Friday special, so click on the link down below, 50% off for stuff. The Honeybee, 99 cents Kindle for the Honeybee. And also, I want everyone to focus. I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. But focus on family life. Focus on what you can do better. If you're a father, as me, focus on what your vocation is. It's really first a family, and don't focus so much on working. I know it's a hard thing to do, but really we're working to create and to be able to provide for our family. So really think about that. The bells just went off, so you know there's somebody coming to the door right now, and they're lonely. So be thankful for what you have, and always think of charity, and always think of others. When you're in service for others, as Bob Berg says, the go-giver, when you're out there giving value and creating value for others, it always comes back to you in other ways.
Yeah, no, with charity too. I mean, the person in front of you just wants to be noticed.
Amen.
They just want to be noticed. They want to be seen. They want to know that they're important. And that alone is huge on a person, especially if they don't have a huge family or a big support. So that is charity. And I just want to encourage everyone out there to just be more aware. Be more aware of who's talking to you, who you're talking to, who's been put in front of you. God puts people in front of us all the time, and most of the time we don't notice. So let's start noticing.
Any parting words?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And we're thankful to you guys. We're thankful that God, at Mass this morning, the homily, one of the brothers gave a great word. We just really recognize as brothers and fathers how truly blessed we are. And it has a lot to do, obviously, with the way God is working in our own lives, but the gift of people we meet along the way, family and friends, and the gift of serving those in need, we're spoiled by God. And so I'm just grateful to be a part of this. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. This has been awesome.
And I'm grateful to for 10 years now. I call you guys friends, so thank you for being
now
here.
you're family. You guys are
There you go.
Take care, everybody. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving. We'll see y'all soon. Bye.
So good.
That was fun.